Hello Gargoyle, Nick Dutch here. Your most recent video, which was addressed to me and addressed to my anti-satanic attitudes. Interesting video so far. I'm just going through it, doing a bit of recording, which is what I'm doing now. Then I'm going to stop the camera, go back to your video and play a little bit more and comment on it as I go. You are a curious YouTube user because you do cling to this satanic imagery, use this nicely psychedelic visuals on your videos. I've been following some of your videos, not all of them, but some of them for a fair time now. Sometimes you do a very religious video, and yes, you do use titles or names such as Lord Satan. And if one was to have the precise same litany, but instead of Lord Satan, you would have Jesus Christ, Yahweh, or Odin, or the Lord and the Lady, you would then end up with a perfectly acceptable Christian or neo-pagan, meditation recording. You personally, as an individual, do I see you as something bad? No, I most certainly do not. However, I'm calling into question the image that you've chosen. For instance, different images have different meanings, and of course, different individuals, due to their cultures, will obviously interpret those images differently. But still, you use this image, this literary metaphor of Lord Satan. You spoke in this most recent video, the one on which I'm commenting upon, that part of the, as it were, purpose, or you alluded to the idea that part of the purpose of this Lord Satan character was to cause confusion in the individual. So you've got this nightmarish image, and its purpose is to cause confusion. What then, I would ask you, would be its benefit to the individual if it destroys the individual and upsets their reasoning capacity? I would say that this is incorrect behavior. I would say that this is irresponsibility taken to the extremes. Whether somebody else does it, or does it in the name of their chosen deity or not, is a complete and utter irrelevance to me. When something is irresponsibility, and irresponsibility with other people's lives, it is still irresponsibility, and irresponsibility with other people's lives, whether you have a cheeky little smirk on your face when you're doing it, or whatever. Even if you are considering Satan to be a literary metaphor, it is irresponsible, it is dangerous to the individual, it is damaging to society, its purpose is to upset people's mental health. I am against all these things, and will be against all these things probably until the day I die and beyond. Therefore, so far, I am still clinging to the idea that I am anti-satanic. Earlier in the video, you suggested the idea that this Satan character was somehow the lord of this world, and therefore being anti-satanic would be to be anti-life. Why would you use the symbol of Satan to mean life, when you can in fact use life to mean life? Alright, this is another deliberate, or seemingly deliberate, attempt to warp the mind. It is also inappropriate behavior. And when someone is behaving inappropriately, alright, after a period of time, just I've got a few years worth of life experience behind me, I can turn around and say, that is inappropriate behavior, and I can say it and I can mean it. Or I can say, that is damaging, and I can look back at my own experience with the people I've known, as well as my own experiences with myself, and how similar forms of rhetoric affected me when I was younger. And I can definitely say, that is wrong. Plain, simple wrong. And something which is damaging this new religious movements that people talk about, okay, including paganism, witchcraft, even your chosen faith of Satanism. It's damaging it, retarding it. I like your use of the phrase, true gnosis of the true God. I like it because it's bullshit. And this is the kind of thing which you admitted to earlier on in the video. you know, deliberately trying to contort people's minds. When something is of a theological nature, it remains an unknown and something hypothetical, at best, or something completely fictional. It is not something true. And of course, your statement resonates well with the idea of the no true Scotsman logical fallacy. So essentially, you are being illogical. And what on earth can you mean by true gnosis? And why would this be attractive to any true Satanist? You are deliberately distorting people's minds and using strange, peculiar religious ideas to do so, and associated with this peculiar, unpleasant, undesirable image. I remain against Satanism. I'm sorry, I am against it. Now your video is beginning to really upset me. You're suggesting that the punditry of this religion of yours is portraying this character of Satan as being the good guy. What you've done in the video is to demonstrate that this culture surrounding this icon of Satan is bad, is psychologically bad, is deliberately psychologically bad, with a kind of like a mischievous edge to it, admittedly. But because it is mischievous, that actually makes it worse, because it's putting a placid, childlike sugar coating over the fact that its job is to destroy people's mind. The very fact that there is some kind of mythology, which is some logical fallacy-driven balderdash or claptrap designed to make your deity concept look good, is neither here nor there, apart from the fact that one could say it is despicable. Again, I am still anti-Satan and anti-Satanism. Okay, when a religious group, let's say, turns around and says in their writings, our God created the universe, are they really saying that our God, who had this particular image, right, who looks like this, who has got this name, is a particular bloke, right, and what he did, right, is he got on his stepladder and he put up a bit of scaffolding and then built himself this universe? Are they doing it in that way? Is every single religious culture in the world purely using this top-down processing when they're approaching this particular concept of creation or mastery of the world? Is there more than one way of looking at it? Instead of top-down saying, this is our God, he created this, okay, and it's our God who's got this name and all the rest of it. Top-down processing, looking at those ideas. What about bottom-up processing? You haven't tackled different ways of looking at the same subjects, Nargargoyle. This is not good. I mean, hypothetically, hey, this is a universe. Maybe it does have a Lord or a Creator, and whatever that Lord or a Creator is, maybe that's our God. So it's seeing the same thing, but from the other point of view. There's more than one way of looking at this, and for you to be able to imply that there is only one way of looking at these particular statements suggests that you're grossly misrepresenting it, and you're basically being like the Fox News of religion. I'm losing respect for you here. Come on. You say if Lord Satan is considered to be the life force or the Reiki, well, wait a second. Why don't you just use words like life force and Reiki then? Just out of curiosity. Why not? Well, if Satan is this cup, then the religion is full of tea. Well, if Satan is considered to be this particular... if Satan is this razor, it's removing a lot of fur. Praise be to the razor, let it be charged for all eternity. If Satan be this calculator, let's worship the ability to do my accounts at the end of the month. I don't know why you bother, apart from to desire to be destructive. To maybe not even knowingly or willingly, due to an intellectual or moral personal flaw. Or just a creative personal flaw, and an inability to think as to what the imagery and ideas that you're playing with could be doing to yourself and to other people. Maybe it's just complete ignorance of the forces at work here. But the actions and the views of these people who are involved in this are just no good to the individual or to society. I am perfectly prepared, and let me rephrase that. I am totally prepared to admit that there are forms of Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and paganism who seriously need to pick up their game as well. Seriously. Because they're using words and ideas which are wrong. They are kneeling down in their churches and using the phrase "we hate" when addressing the Jews, the gays, the Freemasons, people who are, one-legged black lesbians or whatever out-group they choose to demonize. They are really undesirable people who are doing damaging things to their society themselves. Alright, because of the influence of their ideas and the things that they concentrate on what they're trying to do to people. And there is, in fact, a very strong, by your definition, a satanic aspect to some forms of Christianity. And I'm more than prepared to agree with you there. Or to agree with people who would think that, okay? But that's certainly no justification to have an entire cult who, despite rather interesting parallels to Christianity and paganism, is also a cult of mental illness. And that grates against me so bad because of the influence it can have upon people. Now, as an individual, independent religious individual, it is up to the individual to choose intelligently what literature they're going to refer to, what ideas they're going to refer to, how they're going to consider their religious concepts to be, and they will require a great deal of responsibility to be able to do this. Lots of people don't do this, so they don't take responsibility, and they will just be told to think in a certain way or believe in a certain way. And that's another reason why the ideas present in Satanism and certain extreme forms of paganism are far more egregious even than those of the Westboro Baptist Church. And I still remain thoroughly anti-Satanism.